2024 has been an empty year for Kingdom Hearts. As we approach its conclusion, I want to take a look back, as it's easily been one of the quietest years in the series' history. But that's not to say this year has been all doom and gloom. We did get the Kingdom Hearts Missing Link beta, which was met with fairly positive reception, but then of course the game went on and got delayed a few months later, so that's kind of a monkey's paw with that one. Then there's the Kingdom Hearts series making its way to Steam, which has to be the biggest thing that happened this year. Many were waiting for Steam ports while the series was on PC through EGS. Especially those with Steam decks, it was a dream come true to finally experience the series in true handheld. There was also an interview with Nomura where he talked about his potential retirement in the future. This is still one of those really existential moments as we walk towards the end of Sora's saga. We got this really cool Kingdom Hearts artwork to celebrate the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, showing Sora looking at screens covered with images of Sephiroth. Also, more soundtracks made their way to streaming services. But overall, as for the big major stuff when it comes to announcements or releases, Kingdom Hearts has been absent for 2024. We went through every gaming event waiting for a potential trailer to drop without anything to go along with it. This has been the longest we've worn the clown makeup. I feel like it's seeped into my flesh. There's a lot to explore with this, so I wanted to take a look at Kingdom Hearts and 2024 as a whole. We'll be taking a look back at Kingdom Hearts and see what lessons we can learn for the future. But before I get into it, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. How have you guys been handling the lack of Kingdom Hearts information? For the most part, many of us have just moved on and played other games with our time. There have been so many bangers that have released in the recent future that it gets hard to get caught up with Kingdom Hearts too much these days. And please be sure to hit that like button. Helps out the channel, and to be honest, today we're gonna talk about a lot of nitty-gritty. It'll be fun. Gosh, I hope. So the first thing that comes to mind with the lack of Kingdom Hearts information has to do with the past. Kingdom Hearts 3, the last major numbered title in the series, was in development for about 6 years, from announcement to 2013 to release in 2019. Through this time period, we know that there were certain issues within development, like the older engine not working the way they wanted it to. So they switched over to Unreal Engine, which in the process took a lot of time to transfer all of those assets over, I'm sure. Because of this, Kingdom Hearts 3's development was longer than anticipated, so our announcements were scattered throughout the years. You gotta remember, there were periods where we would go an entire year for a single trailer. Then you would wait another year for another trailer and maybe something a little extra. Point is, the main Kingdom Hearts promo stuff went on for a very long time, and people clowned on them because of this. Like, how are you gonna show a trailer for a product that still isn't releasing for years? If you told me in 2015 when this Tangle trailer first dropped that the full game wouldn't release until another 4 years, that's an insane amount of time from trailer to release. So I'm thinking Square Enix is being a little bit more conservative this time around, to not drag the Kingdom Hearts promotional cycle for literal years. I think it's better for them to show the game again when they have a better understanding of when it's going to release. So if that means they need to take the time to work in the darkness, so let it be. There's also a lot of social pressure around this game from the general audiences. I've talked about this before, but there's very little faith in Square Enix releasing games when they're supposed to. It's almost a running joke that their stuff will be delayed. Regardless, I think this is a much better approach. I would much rather see the game again when we can get a full release window or even a release year. Just something more complete instead of the vagueness behind things like magic in the making. Although there was the Kingdom Hearts collections holding us down during this time. Between the time Kingdom Hearts 3 was being made, we got 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 sprinkled throughout the years. And while these were all re-releases, they were essential in making Kingdom Hearts as popular as it is today. So many people got into Kingdom Hearts during the PS3 and PS4 generations because of these games. I think that's what makes the Kingdom Hearts 4 drought feel the most different. There's not really a lot of side content to make the time not feel as long. It's been Kingdom Hearts nothing. And I know that's what Missing Link is supposed to be, but that's been delayed indefinitely. Plus, the overall attitude I've seen towards the game has shifted so much, many debating on if the game should even be a mobile game to begin with, as a good chunk of the community would rather like a version that is just completed from start to finish. I think a good side game would be exactly what we need right now. There's also the major changes that happened throughout Square Enix in the year. Jobs were cut in multiple departments, and this is something that's been happening across the industry. It's been something we've seen time and time again as companies trim down their workforce for whatever reasons. Money. Square Enix in particular has been in a rough position, as their flagship Final Fantasy entries haven't been meeting sales expectations. Both Final Fantasy 16 and Rebirth were lower than they were expecting, which is a bummer because you can see how much love and work was put into these games. Overall, that's a conversation about the AAA games market anyway, and how these giant monster of games are failing to turn a profit, thus putting us in a position where developers should invest in smaller projects with smaller budgets with potential high turnaround. Completely unrelated, of course, games like Dragon Quest III Remake have been a big hit, which is especially important to show that smaller games should be getting more attention. There's also the push for more multi-platform content in the future. Allowing these games to appear on as many consoles as possible is great for grabbing potential audiences. I totally get why a game like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth would be an exclusive for PlayStation first, but I also see why it's timed only, as it'll appear elsewhere in the future. Those PC mods are about to be hilarious. hilarious. But for the most part, the future of Square Enix is looking pretty quiet right now. We're not sure on the future of the Final Fantasy series. Of course, another entry is always going to be in development. Dragon Quest XII is another one that's just missing at the moment, and Kingdom Hearts 4 is just chilling with Dragon Quest XII somewhere. And we got the third Final Fantasy VII Remake entry to look forward to. But for the most part, the docket for Square Enix is looking pretty quiet. At some point in the near future, they're gonna have to say something. Not even just for the general consumers, but I imagine the investors themselves, having concerns with the lack of lineup in the future for Square Enix. So this is where things get pretty interesting. I was on YouTube recently going through my subscriptions, and I was watching the Gamers Joint video on a similar topic, titled "Something Strange is Happening at Square Enix." And then he says this.
Recently, I have actually heard a little tidbit of information. Take this with a grain of salt, but this has come from a source of mine. Again, keep them anonymous. But I have heard that the reason why Square Enix were absent from Summer Games Fest along with the Game Awards is because they are planning to start doing their own showcases, with one happening in February. At some point, Square are going to need to step forward to say, hey, this is our roadmap for 2025. And looking at an event of their own in February does actually make a lot of sense. Now, of course, I'm not going to put all of my eggs in one basket. I'll believe it when I see it, but we should, if it is going to happen, get an official announcement maybe sometime early February.
So it looks like there's going to be a Square Enix type stream in February. After I saw this video, I was like, oh wow, I wonder where Jared heard that from. I went searching for articles online that could have brought this up. Like maybe he heard this somewhere, but any articles that talked about it would cite Jared as the place where they heard this from, meaning Jared is currently the main source of information on this. And I bring this up for a few reasons. The first being is that I know Jared. He's one of the few people in the content space that I could say with my whole heart that I would take a bullet for. He's also someone who knows this Kingdom Hearts content thing like I do. It's almost second nature in how we connect on things like this. He knows the potential implications of sharing information like this, not because of who might get exposed or in trouble, but rather how an announcement like this can drum up excitement in people. I know Jared would not share information like this carelessly. I know he would do the checks and balances to verify someone's credentials, because sharing something like this isn't something that is going to go lightly in the Kingdom Hearts community. But it's one of those things where I trust Jared's judgment. But the fact of the matter is, we won't know about it until February. Although there is something that I would like to add to this. Of course, this next part is just purely speculation, but I don't see why this wouldn't happen anyway. So as we've seen, Square Enix is participating in a bigger push to put their games on other hardware, and there have been rumors of the reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2 happening earlier in the year. I imagine at this potential Square Enix event, or at a Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, there will be a lot of ports announcements of games on the Nintendo Switch 2. Square Enix has been a longtime partner for Nintendo, and there's even rumors of the Final Fantasy VII Remake being a launch title for the console. I mean, how cool would that be if they announced Kingdom Hearts Switch ports 2 within the first year? 2025 is going to be a very transitional year for the gaming space, and we'll see how much Nintendo can maintain their dominance in the space. Will the Kingdom Hearts drought finally come to an end? I think this quiet year has given me a lot of time to reflect on the series. The development between Kingdom Hearts 4 and Kingdom Hearts 3 is a lot different for me. A big part of it is that I'm an adult now. I have like 6 million other things I have to worry about at every second of the day, so time just flies by so much faster than it did when I was a kid, just sitting around waiting for Kingdom Hearts to do anything. Like, I know it's gonna come back eventually, but I do love just sharing in that anticipation with y'all. I love booting up a stream for a gaming event and sitting in that delusion that a new Kingdom Hearts trailer is gonna appear. We're really all stew there going crazy and laugh about it when nothing happens. It's the healthiest way I've seen the time pass. With Nomura talking about how he would end the Kingdom Hearts series and that being a thing that's in the news cycle now, I'm happy to be present in these moments right now, because there will be a day where there isn't anything new to look forward to. Kingdom Hearts could be done forever or on hiatus until they decide to do something new with it. Regardless, enjoy the time while we're here. Remember when Kingdom Hearts 3 seemed like something that would never come out? Well, you can buy it right now and could have at any point in the last 5 years. Time flies when you're having fun. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and stay awesome.